Agents aren't just code.
It's controlling the chaos that emerges from
You
it.
think building agents is easy? It's layers of complexity.
Agentforce is fundamentally changing the nature of the digital world.
This is the internet again. This is electricity. It's that level of change.
I was able to build an agent so easy and so fast, and more importantly, it actually worked.
It doesn't require a lot of coding. I can just simply ask it a question, and it gives me the response.
Agentforce can reason and can make real-time proactive recommendations. It really is like we all have a bunch of assistants working on our behalf.
Agentforce Voice allows us to create efficiency in the overall service experience so that our service representatives can focus on the things that need human attention.
Our Salesforce agents can work with agents from other platforms. It's going to make it so that we can drive innovation in a much more impactful way.
Agentic solutions allow us to scale some of the things that we want to do at an exponential rate.
Within the first few days, we saw a 60% improvement in deflection rate.
We saw a 185% increase in number of appointments.
We have seen a massive efficiency where we have implemented Agentforce in the range of 25 to 30%. In reality, it amplifies the human.
That's the power of a human plus a digital worker.
Partnering with Salesforce, with Agentforce at the core, is how we make the future work for everyone.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone had a nice lunch. We're here to pump you up and talk about Agentforce. I'm Sanjana Parulekar. I lead our marketing team for all things Agentforce at Salesforce, and I'm so delighted to be here in Australia. My first time here, and I've had an amazing time just meeting with customers, learning about what you're all doing. So as is customary for us, I just want to say thank you. You're taking time out of your job, out of your day-to-day to come here, engage with us, learn about our newest products. And so it's only right that we pay it forward and help you learn all the latest new stuff. And I have just been blown away by the innovation in this region in specific. I mean, since we launched Agentforce, some of our marquee customers are doing the coolest things in this region. I mean, we have Xero, we have Nigel here, who you're gonna hear from later in the session. We have folks like One NNZ, we have the Australia Post, we have so many incredible customers that are moving so fast. But I know for those of you that are kind of early in your journey, it feels still pretty daunting. I mean, we get up on this stage, we show you all this cool stuff, and you're just thinking, where do I start? And I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all, but I'm here to tell you that it all starts with a single use case. And personally, I feel very invested in this strategy. I've been at Salesforce for almost 9 years working on our AI strategy the entire time. And what I love about Agentforce is that all of you that have been building on the platform for so many years have been prepared for the agentic AI moment. You've been building out flows, Apex, Lightning Web Components, all of this richness inside of Salesforce, and lately prompts and embedded AI. And all of this prepares you for your first deployment of Agentforce. It starts with a single use case. And soon you start to see those other use cases sort of percolate through your organization and take a life of their own. And before you know it, you're gonna be building out agents that are orchestrated across your entire company. It sounds daunting, but it can really be simple when you think about it this way. You gotta start small. And Frank mentioned this earlier in the main keynote, but we have the architecture to help you get there. And I know better than anyone out there is a lot of noise. There's a lot of new AI every single day. There's a new announcement every single day. It's really, really hard to figure out what you should prioritize. But we've made it pretty simple here so you can really understand what it takes to build a really performant agentic enterprise. And it starts with that system of context, right? That's like the heartbeat of your AI strategy. It's your data. It's all the data that might be non-traditional, like PDFs or videos or audio files. We can bring all of that together and kind of surface that through your system of work. And this is pure Salesforce, right? This is your Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, these apps that you've been using for so many years. And all of that richness, your workflows, the context, kind of creates your system of agency. And that's what we're here to talk about today, right? The system of agency that you can build uniquely on the Agentforce platform. And on top of all of that, it's all kind of useless if you're not engaging with these applications. And our system of engagement in Slack is absolutely incredible. I mean, if Jacob would let me, I would be up here talking about this all day long because I'm so passionate about Slackbot and how it surfaces all this richness in such an engaging way. But all of these are really the tools that you need to bring your agentic enterprise vision to life. And what I love about this platform as well, and I used to be in many of your shoes. I used to be a Salesforce admin. And I'd see all the announcements, and I'd think, well, that doesn't work in my environment. And you take a closer look, and you really see how open we are as a platform. And in this world of AI, you need an open platform. We know your data landscape is incredibly complex, your AI landscape is complex, and it's exciting. And we want to make sure that you can leverage all of these tools in the best way possible, and we're going to show you that. Now, today, we're going to dive really deep into some of our newest innovations. We have given Agentforce a huge makeover. It looks and feels completely different than it did before, and we're allowing you to create these more controlled experiences using Agentforce scripts. So you're going to see that live in action. The next thing is really kind of the entire kind of more sophistication that we have inside of the platform. So Agent Script is this new scripting language, but you can build new types of agents that you could have never thought of before. I mean, I think one of the things that can be a little disconcerting about AI is it's a little unpredictable, but we fix that problem. So you can build agents that can execute a workflow as well as they can just have a conversation with your customer. And underneath all of this, there is no agents without context, like I said. And we're going to show you kind of a more rich way to bring in all of that unstructured data using Data 360 and what we call intelligent context. So all of those manuals that you have, all those PDFs, they're usually not readable by AI, but we've done the hard work in the platform so you don't have to, and you can make your agents even smarter and more accurate with intelligent context. And last but certainly not least, this week, we actually went generally available with some of our voice capabilities globally. We have 4 Australian accents that you can all use to kind of customize your voice agents and channels. And this is an incredibly exciting innovation because what we hear from customers all the time is they don't want to have to build the same agent 50 times for 50 channels. You want to build it once and deploy it everywhere. No wasted work. So you're going to see this in action too. So we have 2 really exciting chapters for you today. The first is going to focus on building new agents with that new Agentforce builder, and the second will be around operating these agents at scale. And for our first chapter, I want to hand it over to one of our brilliant product managers, Corey Anderson. Corey, take it away.
Awesome. Thank you, Sanjana. Hey, everyone. Really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come here and get an idea of kind of what we're doing here at Salesforce and how we're building the sort of next wave of Agentforce. So with that, why did we make all these changes, right? Well, it starts with understanding that it's not just about admins and IT building agents anymore, or even building your entire enterprise software stack, right? The front line is building it, whether it's your customer service reps or your account executives. They want to be able to use tools to build agents that assist them day to day. But this has a lot of nuance, especially when we talk about Salesforce, right? You have agents that might interact with your customers externally, and you need to know that they're predictable. AI needs to be customizable, flexible, but at the same time, you need to know that you can have a lot of control and that it's reliable and deterministic, right? Well, in order to do that, we've created a lot of different innovations, right? But sort of what does today look like? Your agent either operates very similar to a bot, where it has so many guardrails that when you ask it to do things that it's enabled to do, it's not predictable, it doesn't always work. Or the opposite happens, right? Your agent is so open, it's this massive list of instructions that it actually does way more than you want it to, right? And it starts making transactions without verifying the customer and all sorts of stuff. Neither of these agents are releasable to your end users, and we understand that. In the current day of agents around the industry, it looks sort of like the left side of that screen, right? Where it's this massive block of instructions, tons of if-then statements, and you're just pleading with the agent to follow them. But it's confusing, and it's not reliable, and it's really hard to understand how to pinpoint that one thing that might make the agent do what you want it to. And that's what we want to show you today, is how we're changing that with the new Agentforce Builder and Agentforce Script. So with that, I want to jump right into our demo. All right. OK. So here we're going to talk about Amazing Airlines. They're a longtime Agentforce customer, and they have a FAQ agent live on their website. This agent can help book flights, rebook them, and our awesome demo drivers here, Josh and Joelle, are going to help us kind of look at how this agent works. So the FAQ agent, Allison, one of our target customers here, is a frequent flyer. She's trying to book a flight for Sydney World Tour. She wants to book a premium seat. She'll ask the agent to do that, and the agent is enabled to help with that. So it goes ahead, it provides her a link, all the information that she needs, and it's able to book that for her. But this is a pretty easy use case compared to what a lot of you want to do. When we look at something a bit more complex, like maybe her flight just got canceled and she needs to rebook that flight, well, that's where it becomes a lot harder, right? You know that requires integrating your live flight status data, seat maps, company policies, customer statuses, and tiers, and that's really difficult at scale. The agent can help, it can provide a link, but the agent's gonna lose context. It's not even on this page, right? It's a new experience, you'll have to restart, and you just don't want your customers jumping back and forth this much. So let's take a look at how we can change some of this, right? When Amazing Airlines started, they had all these ambitions of what they could do with Agentforce, and they only ever got to a couple of those things. And that's because the platform didn't scale with the reliability that they needed. And the result of that is they kind of just got started. So we want to show you how, with our new builder, you can really start accomplishing all of the goals that you've had with Agentforce. Here we have a flight booking topic, and the first thing I want you to notice is just how different the builder looks, right? If you've used the old builder, this should not look familiar to you at all. This is a low-code Canvas-style editor so that you can build agents in natural language, but have some of the benefits of agent script behind the scenes. So let's talk about what that means. Here in this topic, I want to add some logic. So I want to add a conditional statement that checks to see if the moment that a customer starts a conversation, if they have any flights in the next 72 hours. By doing that, I'm not actually even involving an LLM, because I don't need one. I want this to happen every single time. Traditionally, in the current Agentforce builder, what you would do is you would say, every time you start a conversation, always run this action to check if they have flights. But we don't need an LLM to do that, right? Computers are pretty good at if-then statements. So we're kind of taking a step back, and we're moving to a more controlled structure. So this is going to happen every single time, no need for an LLM. That's faster, that's less tokens, that's less opportunities for risk, and it's just much quicker time to action. Agent script not only helps gain context, it also helps you build guardrails. So maybe we have an action like booking premium seats that we only want to be available to our premium customers, right? A-list preferred status. So we can have a filter here, and this action will not even be known to the LLM unless that filter is true. So instead of saying, unless it's their A-list preferred, never, ever, under any circumstances, let them do this, well, if they're not A-list preferred, the LLM doesn't even know that it can do that, right? So it's impossible. It's not going to go down that route. Behind the scenes, this is all agent script. It's all code. So if we flip over into what looks like really an IDE, all you're doing when you're writing these statements is you're building code behind the scenes, right? And so what that allows us to do is choose when do we want to use an LLM and when do we want to just execute code. But if you're not comfortable with that, use our Canvas-style editor, and even better, open up on the right-hand side there an assistant that can help you along the way. It's built on Salesforce best practices, so if you're wondering how would Salesforce do this, great. This agent can help you do it. It'll build topics, it'll build actions, and we'll show a bit of that later. All right, agent script is not only great for building, it's also great for testing. In the same way that when you debug a computer system, you can go line by line, the same thing works with agent script. So you're no longer trying to pinpoint that needle in a haystack, what's that one word that caused the agent to go awry. Now, we give you a stack trace of every single item that the agent did, and you can review that here with a latency waterfall that tells you to the millisecond how much time each step took so you can assess latency, and you can see the inputs and outputs of every single step. The debugging time is so much quicker with these agents because you just got to go find the line and update the logic there. All right. Let's take a look at what this looks like in production, right? So if we go ask this agent a question on your website, the agent is immediately, because of that logic that we set, it is immediately going to start checking, does this customer have a flight in the next 72 hours? Allison does, she needs to go book it. So it's going to go gain context on who is Allison, what's her flight stat, what's her customer status, recommend an entire list of flights using the new Agentforce platform and all of the great UI that you can get out of it. And in 15 seconds and one question by the customer, it executes perfectly and is reliable, and we can do this at scale every time. This is the future of AI assistance, and this is how we're using Agentforce script to do it. So with that, we've talked about building agents. I'd love to transition into observing and monitoring those agents at scale, and to do that, I'd love to welcome Jess to the stage.
Thank you, Corey. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, this is me. Oh, fun fact, that hair is from Gemini Nano Banana. I had it, yeah, it looked terrible before this. So that's me. Now, I talk to a lot of agent managers in my role, and we have seen this new resource populate in a lot of teams. And in all of our deployments across Agentforce, it's existing CRM domain expertise being upskilled with agent strategists, agent operators, agent managers, and a lot of them are wearing the same or different hats. They're asking about agent KPIs all the way through to how accurate an agent is responding. If you were in the main keynote earlier, you would have heard me say how easy it is to get to the build part. But all the agent managers in the room today will know that actually the hard part is the testing, the evaluating, the observing, the operationalization of that within a unified governance framework. That's the hard part. And that's where all you humans do come in to play here. Luckily for you, though, our wonderful product team have been really busy looking at the Agentic development lifecycle based off of our thousands of deployments that are live. We've heard the nitty-gritty. We've actually been very, very transparent and open and led with your feedback. So thank you for that. And so a positive outcome is that Corey walked us through build. I'm going to walk you through test, evaluating, and observing. And everybody here, the humans, will continue to steer. You create the ROI, you create the use cases, you make sure that you validate everything that you're seeing within the development lifecycle. So I wanted to make sure we hit that home today because your jobs are becoming more important. Now, my demo is focused on observability today. This is the 10,000-foot view that we have made generally available this week. And it looks fantastic, but I will actually spend a little bit more time in our demo. So I'm going to go straight to my demo. And everybody, it is nearly March, so I should probably start to get fit. So I'm going to buy some workout gear and I'll buy some protein bars. But the next day, I'm not feeling it. Maybe I'll work out in April. So I'm going to have a back and forth text with Fabulous Fitness. And they don't. I ask for a refund and it doesn't happen. Why is that? It's because the return policies between a protein bar and workout gear is very different. And this was actually a real-life customer scenario where we had to debug and troubleshoot and figure out the session trace in why this happened. So let's do that. Let's take off my customer hat and let's look at the observability tooling that we've created for you based off of all of your wonderful feedback. So this is a performance overview of what we see with agents. We got engagement rates, escalation rates. If we scroll down, we've got agent usage rates. This is fantastic for daily stand-ups, weekly stand-ups, to make sure that you're steering your agent programs the right way. However, I'm looking for a specific error, so let's go into insights. In the Agent Studio insights, we can see total sessions, we can see topics. In a real-life customer scenario, we saw that actually a lot of billing topics were getting aggregated as very popular use cases for their agents, so they spun off subtopics based off of this specific report. So it can be quite good, but I'm still looking for troubleshooting details. So this is where we have enhanced our reporting with moments and interactions here. This is definitely the type of SMS that would happen back and forth with an AI agent who cannot process a return. And on the right-hand side, just as Corey walked us through, this new session trace transparency is what we've been looking for. So now that I know what I need to look for, I'm going to go back into the agent builder, the same canvas experience that Corey walked us through before, and I'm going to readjust my instructions here. The readjustment is to make sure that my agent knows that it needs to retrieve more than one return policy per order. So that's reconfigured in the green, and we've removed the old bad instructions in the red. Now that we know that this happened, I am a bit paranoid, so I want to make sure that we test and test and test before we republish this AI agent. So let's go to our testing scenarios. And I ask my team to create multiple utterances. These are the different test scenarios we want you to deploy in your governance frameworks. And we want you to make sure that you pass all of these, that they're coherent, that they're concise, that they have the right latency coming through. this all looks good. So I'm going to push this now into production, and I believe that I'm going to call Fabulous Fitness for a refund. Okay.
Hi, I'm an AI service assistant. How can I help you?
Hello, may I please refund my workout gear and protein bars?
Got it. It looks like your order 2289 is within the 30-day return policy window, but food items are ineligible for our free return policy. Would you like me to still process the return for your workout gear?
Yes, please.
Great. I've processed the return for your workout gear and sent an email with the return shipping label. Once we receive the item, we'll process the refund. Is there anything else I can assist you with?
No, thank you. Bye-bye. Okay. She sounds tired for an AI agent. That's interesting, isn't it? Okay, so everything that I've demoed so far is GA, ready for you to plug and play. This has been incubating in the oven, and I'm very excited to show you because this allows agent managers to simulate with confidence that what you've tested, what you've configured, is indeed happening in the moment. So let's hit play.
It looks like your order 2289 is within the 30-day return policy window, but food items are ineligible for our free return policy. Would you like me to still process the return for your watch?
Yeah, sure. I'm still a fan of eating.
Great.
Okay, perfect. Well, that concludes the observability component. I'm going to hand over to my wonderful friend, Jacob.
Thank you so much, Jess. So my name is Jacob Hickick, and that is my real hair. And I lead Agentforce and Data 360 product marketing based out of my hometown of Sydney, Australia. And I have the privilege of bringing all of the innovation that you've seen, not just in this, but in all the years that we've been working on Agentforce, to our region. And the technology is great, but it's only as good as the pace that you build and how you lean in. And so a customer that has been doing incredible work with Agentforce is Xero. And so today we're going to share with you how Xero became an agentic enterprise. And I'm not going to do it alone, so please, can you all help me introduce Nigel Piper, the EGM of Xero customer. Hello, Nigel.
Hi.
Great to have you here.
Great to be here.
So for those that don't know who Xero is and what your role is, can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So Xero is a global SaaS technology company, small business accounting, founded back in 2006 in little old sleepy Wellington, New Zealand. So very exciting. We're about to turn 20 later this year. We have 4.5 million customers, over 180 countries around the world. I've been at Xero for 13 of those years and sort of seen the growth of the company from 100,000 customers to the 4.6 million we have today. And my role is service, you touched on that. I also look after our customer success team. We also include our customer technology team as part of my structure. And I look after thousands and thousands of accountants and bookkeepers around the world, helping them grow on the platform.
Your scope is huge, Nigel. And so you have 4.6 million customers that are all over the world. And so what was the point that said, we need Agentforce?
Yeah, my view is that customer expectation is changing massively, Jacob. This immediacy, people don't want to look at a help center or a knowledge base anymore. They want to be able to get the answer very, very quickly, and we've seen that change, I think, quite dramatically. And then really around this channel optionality or channel choice, customers want to interact with you in the channel that they prefer. And for Xero, where we never had an inbound phone number, we didn't have chat for a long time, we turned off email, quite a shift for us. And then we saw this big, massive shift around flipping the model between reacting to customer cases, but also now actually meeting customers where they are. So as they're using a new feature, they're stuck, this proactive nature of engaging and reaching and talking to a customer in the moments that matter. So that's been the really interesting. And the reality is we couldn't really do that. The data play is really interesting. We have a fantastic system of record or a consistent set of data. We have a fantastic connection, obviously, with Snowflake, and it gave us confidence that that data play really needs to be there.
And you're using Data 360 to make that happen.
Data 360, Snowflake connections, that confidence of having one single source of data.
And so you had that data foundation and the vision, and so with that, you built a sales development representative agent for your partner network. Can you share with everybody here what was happened, like from pilot all the way through to results?
Yeah, we started small. We identified a problem that we have. I'm sure people in the room would probably resonate with this. We had a pretty traditional sales method, pretty high human touch. So for us, we wanted to see, and it was a very simple measure, we wanted to see if customers would actually engage with an SDR. And so we started a small piece of work around bringing that in, and we've seen some fantastic results. So can we save up the human for the right high-value interaction, and can we nurture customers along a journey in a pretty consistent way? And the results, fantastic. 3 times open rate of emails. We've signed up over 100 partners. But again, it was really, really interesting how we could actually prove that this really model worked. And that sort of gave us confidence. Confidence is a big thing. Yeah. I think we've talked about that. How do we actually use that information to say, right, well what's next? What else can we do? Where are we going in the direction? And it also gave confidence to our very senior leaders at Xero to say, hey, this actually technology works. We found a use case for it. We would like to do more. And so that confidence started with a very simple case, as I said, but allowed us much, much more vision for the future.
Yeah, and that confidence has led to pace. And so with that in mind, one thing that I know you shared with me as we prepared for today is that engaging with this technology has opened up the possibilities that you never would have thought would have been possible at Xero 13 years ago from when you started. So with that in mind, what is next for Xero and Agentforce?
Yeah, we're on a journey, Jacob, and I think a slide's going to pop up that will give a little bit more descriptive to that. We started very simply with an employee agent that obviously led to the inbound SDR. We obviously then thought about an inbound SDR. We looked at an outbound SDR, and then obviously we're starting to do more around a service agent.
Oh yeah, here's that slide now.
Here's the slide now. So we started with the outbound, and very exciting, we went live last Friday with the inbound partner, so that's hitting our .com site.
Amazing.
And bringing information in. And this Xero Central, very proud to announce today that we have done some fantastic work with that, and we're going live today. And a service agent, what's a service agent? A service agent is AI multi-turn chat. And the beauty about that is it remembers the conversation or the context of the conversation, so you can ask clarifying questions. It can remember the whole context. And we brought Agentic capabilities in that allows a one-click to book a call, a one-click for a case raise, using the context of the conversation really as a case raise form. So fantastic help, though, with our partners at Slalom and CloudWorks to help us with those things.
And it's amazing. The pace that you've been building and the vision that you've been leading is huge.
Well, this is the vision side of things, and this is where it gets a bit scary. Yeah. We're thinking of the concept of a super agent, a concierge. Yeah. So could you put a super agent ahead of a service, of a sales, of a churn, of an onboarding agent? So could you have something that actually brings everybody through the front door? And then where it gets really interesting is, can you have an agent pass to another agent? Which is really interesting. And then, and I'm sure everybody's sort of thinking about this as well, it's around how do you actually start taking action on behalf of a customer? And so for us, we've got a couple of trials in play with that. In our context, that could be as simple as a password reset. It could be setting up a bank account. But you can see the capabilities where we want to take an action on behalf of a customer. And then that really then, I'll touch on the data side again. The really interesting around the data is, can you meet a customer in the moment? So these data signals that we can actually pull out of Data 360, actually, as somebody is doing something for the first time, as we see an opportunity, maybe as an upsell opportunity, can we use an agent to engage with those customers in the moment?
Absolutely huge, Nigel. Everyone, can we please give a round of applause to Nigel for the work that the team has been doing? Thank you for joining us here today. I love everything that Xero's up to, and I can't wait to see what we do next.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much. Now, to bring us home, I would love to welcome up Sanjana back to the stage. Sanj?
All right. Thank you so much, guys. Well, you've gotten a peek into a little bit of our strategy here, right? Building reliable agents that work and how to really operate these agents at massive scale. And if there's one learning I have from Nigel's story at Xero and so many of you, is that you can start with a single agent use case. I mean, you saw that chart of all of the different agents that Xero is building and everything that they've learned. You don't get to super agents, you can't be super without starting small. And so we have a ton of activations available for all of you today. In the campground, you can build your first agent, so that new builder, all shiny and new that Corey showed you, you can all build your own agents with the new builder, learn, talk to an expert, and really zero in on those use cases that are gonna create that maximum impact. And we have so many more sessions throughout the day across the clouds and across the campground. So please go and enjoy, have an awesome day, and we hope that you've been able to learn a bit with us today. Thank you.